It was the end to a vacation some travelers to Cuba are describing as horrific, as a problem with the airport runway resulted in a 4-day delay back to Canada. Now, that delay turned deadly for one traveler who was trying to leave the Cayo Largo resort.
He was clearly in extreme distress, so he needed, someone needed to take control.
Fran Olmsted was one of 160 people trying to leave Cayo Largo, Cuba, when a man collapsed while waiting for a ferry that would take the travelers from the island to Havana, where they would then board a plane to Toronto.
The staff at the airport basically stood around and watched. A doctor was brought in eventually, and he didn't even take any action. He just stood by and watched the passengers take care of this victim.
We gotta try and keep this guy alive until the doctor gets here. Do what we can. He's by himself.
This woman, who did not want to be identified, along with 4 others, all happened to be healthcare workers in Canada, rushed to the man's side and tried to save him.
A bunch of us had checked different spots for a pulse, and we didn't have one. Someone else initiated CPR, but I think we all took turns doing it. I did about 2 rounds of compressions myself.
Global Affairs Canada confirming the death, saying in part, "We offer our deepest condolences to the family and friends of the Canadian citizen who died in Cuba." Travelers stranded in Cuba have expressed concern over not being able to access medication while they were waiting for their flights to be rescheduled. Some saying many others fell ill because of the lack of access to meds.
The airline was not concerned about the delay for any passengers that may have had medical concerns. My husband, for example, is a diabetic, and he also has his own heart condition. And we informed them of that, and there was absolutely no help offered.
In a statement to CityNews, Air Transat says a few passengers expressed concern about the amount of medication they had with them. Tour operator representatives on site contacted a doctor on the island, and additional medication was provided to clients who requested it. Olmsted says the ordeal didn't end there. After boarding a ferry to take them to Havana, she says it was a nauseating 6-hour ride on a boat infested with cockroaches.
And they were everywhere, crawling on the ceiling, the walls, the floors, all around. So a lot of people were very traumatized by the cockroaches.
The passengers are now looking to Air Transat for answers and want to inform others to be prepared if traveling to a remote location.
If you have a traumatic event and you can't get the help you need, you're literally risking your life by traveling to Cayo Largo.
Air Transat says 160 passengers have so far returned home from boarding the ferry off Cayo Largo and flying home from Havana Airport. Now, 186 passengers will return to Montreal on Friday and 58 to Toronto this weekend.